Alright, what's going on everyone out there on YouTube? NES Ruler, and welcome to a brand new review. And this time we'll be checking out a film that was sent to me to review by Severin Films, and you can pick this up right now on Blu-ray. And it's a film from the year 1983, and it is the Italian movie Wild Beasts. Now this is a very interesting film. I think it's most prominent known because they use real-life animals throughout the entire film. Real-life animal attacks and things like that. It's not stock footage, they're actually really doing it, and I'll get into that in a little bit. I think that's really the most interesting part of this movie and the main reason to watch it. The story and everything else is completely Italian, cheesy garbage, in my opinion. You know what you're going to get when you turn on an early 1980s Italian film. You're either going to get a really, really great giallo or Argento film, or you're going to turn on an Italian film and you're going to get low budget, over the top, stupid cheesiness, and that's what this film is. So basically we follow a doctor in the suit, Dr. Brenner, and he is the leading scientist at the zoo, and he basically cares for all these animals and all that kind of stuff. And then one night there is an attack of this couple in a car, of course, getting it on, and they end up getting killed by these rats. And there's just thousands of rats, and they're all real rats. You can probably tell what they're doing is they're probably, probably on a cherry picker above, and they're just tossing these rats into the car. It's just absolutely hilarious. And there's just rats everywhere. But anyway, they get killed by these rats. The doctor comes in, and he notices that something is starting to go wrong. And as time goes on, things at the zoo start to go wrong, and eventually one of these towers falls over and the gates all open up and the animals go on and they wreak havoc in the city. And that's basically about it. It's just scene after scene after scene after scene after scene of just animals attacking people, from lions and cheetahs and even polar bears. And the polar bear scene is one of my favorites because it's this complete and utter nonsense of this polar bear just walking down the hallways in the school in Rome. It's just completely hysterical. You have to see it to believe for yourself that they actually just dragged a freaking motherfucking polar bear to Rome and they shot it in a school. It's hilarious, and I highly recommend you just watch the film basically for that sequence. But besides that, it's just the story it's really garbage in my opinion. It's not anything special. It's not what I expected. It's just a doctor, like I said, going around trying to stop these animals from going crazy because they drank some water that had some PCP in it, and that's what caused them to go crazy. So it's, like I said, it's one scene after another after another after another after another of this doctor and his cop buddy and a journalist, female journalist that he has a thing for, and that's basically about it. And the thing that the animals attacks use, they use a lot of close-up and quick cuts. I think this is a reason that the film looks so low budget and cheesy to me, because you really don't see the animal attacks happening because the camera will be either placed in this angle or close up, and then for a second, and then switch over to this camera angle for a second, and then it'll be a bird eye shot for a second, and then this and this. It's just cutting really back and forth. You can't really see what's going on a lot of the time. And I understand why they were doing that. They were using real animals and they had to use some sort of trickery to get everything to work. But the animal attacks don't really look that good in my opinion. It's still impressive, and I give them credit for even trying to do this. That's why the film is so crazy to me. But I wish there was just a little bit more with the animal attacks and the killings that go on, which it wasn't just so jumpy all the time. And that's really my main complaint with the film, besides of the story. It has a really good score, I have to say. One thing with Italian films, you're usually going to get a really, really good score. And, of course, the dubbing. Let's get on to the dubbing. So this has an English dubbing track on it, and also has an Italian track. And the Italian track, of course, is done ADRing, and it just doesn't match up to the mouths of the actors speaking most of the time. The English does a really better job at matching up to what they're saying, but the Italian track, you could obviously tell it was ADR, and it's just hilarious. I actually watched about 20 minutes with the Italian track, and then I got fed up with the mouths not matching up to what was going on, and I switched over to the English track, and it's a little bit better, and the voice acting isn't that horrible, to be completely honest. I've seen a lot worse English dubs in my day. But, you know what you're going to get when you turn on an early 1980s film and you watch some dubbing. But overall, it's a really, really great release from Severin, as always. You know, they always do a great job. And the transfer looks really, really good. This film's really dark. Like I said, especially doing the animal attacks, and I just said I understand that. But the film's really dark, but the film still looks really, really good during the brighter sequences. You could tell they spent a lot of time cleaning it up. There's a little grain here and there in some sequences, but it's not really anything noticeable unless you're sitting really close to your TV, which I don't understand why you would. But if you're sitting far back, it looks really, really good, like a typical Severin HD transfer does. And like I said, it has an Italian dub, and it has an English dub as well. And the English track is HD 2-channel, and the Italian dub is just a regular 2-channel normal audio track. So the English, you know, it has more stuff going on if you have surround sound, but it's still 2 channels either way. And of course, we have features, we have a director interview, a boatload of interviews on this release. Of course, like Severin always do, they put a whole bunch of good features, a lot of time interviews. Interviews with the director, which is really, really interesting. You know, this guy was known for making films with animals, and this is interesting to listen to him talk about this film and other films that he made. A whole bunch of interviews with the actors and listening to their experience having to work with these animals and how different it was and all that kind of stuff. And then we get to the most interesting feature on the set, and that's the interview with the animal wranglers, and just hearing about how they ended up wrangling all these animals and all that was really, really interesting, and definitely the highlight of the special feature set. Then we have an interview with the editor and a visit to the home of the filmmaker, of course, the director, Prosperity. And that was really cool to see his house and all that kind of stuff. It was really an oddball feature on the release compared to all the other interviews, but it was interesting. And of course, we have the international trailer. So there's my review of Wild Beasts. Overall, it's a really dumb film, but you know what you're going to get when you watch an Italian film. It's usually going to be pretty dumb, and this one is no different. It's a stupid story, and the plot is just stupid, and it doesn't really make any sense whatsoever, especially the ending. But, you know, you're going to watch this because of the animal scenes and the animal killings and polar bears walking down fucking hallways. It's in a school in Rome. It's crazy. But besides that, it's okay. I enjoyed it. I think I'm probably, you know me, I'll probably watch it once and never watch it again, but it was worth it just to check out the features and things like that, and the transfer and all that is good from Severin. So you can pick this up right now on Blu-ray from Severin Films, so check it out. Thanks everybody again for watching my review. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up, and as well you can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/NESRuler22. Hope everybody's doing well, and I'll talk to you guys soon. See you guys.